What's going on, guys? Just want to do a quick review of my Tenere 700, but I just had to go pick up my son from school, so I figured I'd give you a quick zip around of the property. There it is. So the house is finally done, which, we've been in for a little while now, but still waiting on furniture. Obviously, everything's taken forever. But anyways, there it is. So quick review on the Tenere 700. I think I've got close to 1,600 miles on it now. So I think it's time to give a fair review of it. I think it's, I've had enough seat time on it. Let me see. Yeah, 1581. So I think I've had enough time to really test it out, see how she does. Also, real quick, I went ahead and I'm purchasing another new bike, a 2022 Yamaha MT-09. Kind of one of those deals where, one's coming in. If you don't put a deposit on it, you're not going to get it because everything's selling so fast. So I put a deposit down on it. It's supposed to be here in mid to late April. Possibly May, I guess we'll see. Sometimes they say they're coming, they don't even arrive. So I may not get anything at all, but that's the plan. Right now, I definitely do plan to keep this bike. I don't actually see myself replacing this bike ever. I guess you never know. I've gone through a lot of bikes, so we'll see. But I absolutely love this Tenere 700. I love the way it looks, performs. I mean, everything about it is fantastic. I've got that Cyan Storm, I think it's called, coming in. Kind of funky. That's another thing, too. I told them, look, I don't know if I'm going to love that bike when it comes in. But, they'll give me my money back if I don't like it, if it's really funky looking, because those blue wheels I'm just unsure of. But I'm kind of ready for something different, a little wild looking, instead of the black or white or red that I typically get and then change it around. So we'll see how it goes. I think it'll be cool, a little different, and let's see what I can do with it, to upgrade it. So kind of excited, but we'll see. Thus far, it's this property has not been that great for street biking. You can see I've got a big long rock driveway and live down a dirt road, and that's kind of why I got rid of the Ducati Street Fighter V4, the brand new one, because we were living in a camper out here when I owned that while this was being built. So the mud, the water, no driveway, put it in the back of the toy hauler with dirt bike ramps. I mean, it was just a nightmare. So I'm ready, I feel like, for another street bike. Not that I dislike this, nothing wrong with it at all. It's just, I kind of miss the street bike deal, but not enough to give this one up. If I had to get rid of one or the other, I'd get rid of that other bike, which I don't even own yet, before this one. Just because this makes so much more sense out where I live now in this environment. But I figured for the price of that new MT-09, you just can't beat it. I mean, it's so much bike for the money. It's less than half of what I paid for the Ducati Street Fighter. And, it just felt sickening going up and down a dirt road with that bike. It was such a beautiful bike, and going up and down that dirt road. Now I wouldn't feel so bad because I'm kind of set up now. The driveway's in, the house is done. I can put it in a garage, not the toy hauler. It would be fine now, but I don't know. I don't know that a $20-something thousand bike is, I mean, you can buy two bikes for $20,000 like this, which I feel like are just as fun. Don't get me wrong, that thing was an absolute monster. It was awesome bike. But for the time that I owned it, it just didn't work out here. It was just not the time to own it. So anyways, got rid of that, got this. MT-09 on the way. We'll see how that goes. Quick review on this. Love it in every way. So far, I've taken it on almost every single trail that I've ever taken my KTM 500 on, minus the single track. I just haven't made it out there yet. I feel like it'll perform just fine. Will it perform as good? I think the big thing is the suspension that will hold it back. The suspension was so awesome on that KTM. It just, you could jump logs and do all sorts of things. You just with no issues. You were able to do anything on it, I felt like. Not that you can't with this. Obviously, this has got a weight disadvantage, and the suspension's certainly not as good. When I jump this, it reminds me of the WR250R. No matter how much I try to slow down that rear end, on a jump, it always kind of bucks me. So if anybody's got any tips to help that, I think I've adjusted all that I can on it to make that stop. But I don't know. We'll see. I felt like I slowed it down pretty good on the WR, but it always would still do it just a little bit. And that's my only complaint, is when I jump, it bucks in the back. I really got to push it up and push the front end up on it when I jump something and know that the front's going up first. So when I do get bucked, it pushes me down. There's enough room to push me down and not throw me over. So, but that's my only real complaint. Obviously, it's a little heavier than your typical, but once I put my, dirt bike boots on and all my stuff, it just feels just fine. I mean, luckily so far I have not dropped it, although the Outback MotorTech bars I think would do a fantastic job of protecting me. Obviously they got a pretty darn good track record of doing that with a lot of bikes. I've seen a lot of wrecked bikes and they've done just fine. Hope to never test them, but yeah, I mean, I've taken this off-road probably 10, 12 times now. I mainly street bike it. Another reason I'm kind of getting a street bike is I do a lot more street riding just because of my work schedule. If I ride, it's like going to work. I just don't have tons of off time. I work every single weekend. So when I ride, it's riding to work, unfortunately. And not that this doesn't do fine, which it does. It's just I miss having a street bike, and this is no slouch. I mean, it's a fast bike for what it is. It's still faster than most vehicles out there on the road, but there's something about getting on one of those MT10s, MT09 with that freaking awesome motor, and it just cruises like nothing. So anyways, that's kind of what I'm doing. It's just nice to have another bike too, another choice. But again, if I had to pick one, I'd still keep this one, no doubt. Tires have been excellent. I actually have another brand new setup there. I've liked them so much. The Adventures in the rear, Rowells up in the front. When I go off-road, I'll typically drop the rear to about 18 to 20 PSI, front 15 to 18. Because it's such a stiff tire, I feel like if you don't let that amount of air out, it just loses traction. But once I drop it down to there, performs fantastic. I've got tons of sand here in Florida. It's all we have. So it hooks up great. A few times I've almost dropped it, just gunned it, and it picks me right up out of the sand, and I keep going. So love this bike. I'll never use it to its full potential. Obviously, most guys won't, but it's certainly got more skill than I'll ever have. So on-road abilities, another excellent bike. I mean, if you don't have, some guys complain about wobbling on this tire, and I can see. So what happens is if that PSI drops below 30, this thing wobbles all over the place on the highway. But if you have 30 plus in there, I think I've got 30 or 32 in there right now, I can cruise 90 plus miles an hour, no wobble, no nothing, straight as an arrow. But if it drops below 30, that's when it starts to shake and shimmy at 80 and 85. So as long as you keep the PSI up, it seems perfect. And, you can see, I don't know if you can really see here. It's hard to tell, but that the knobs on there have barely anything taken off of them so far, like zero. They're basically still like brand new. They're a little white, scuffy looking just from the rock driveway, but other than that, these tires are excellent tires. They look awesome. They've performed awesome. No complaints whatsoever. Um, what else? I don't know. I mean, the weight disadvantage, I may get the suspension done one day. I just don't know if I take it off-road enough to do that. I think once I get the MT-09, I will probably use this, more than 90% off-road than almost, 85% on-road that I do now. I think I'll just, since I'll have the street bike again, I'll use this more off-road when I get the chance. So, but love it. Absolutely love this bike. No issues. I think I've changed the oil on it twice now, maybe 3 times. I'm an absolute oil waster or maintenance nut, whatever you want to call it. But that'll slow down too, as I just wanted to break in. I get all the nastiness out of it, so it's good. So everything's been great on it. No issues whatsoever. Starts up every time. Runs fantastic. I mean, faster still than most cars. Not as fast as obviously a regular street bike, but this motor is no slouch. Perfect motor for this bike, in my opinion. The only thing that my latest, I've had tons of dirt bikes in my life, but the latest one that I can compare to was my KTM 500 that I had. Obviously, the suspension difference, power-wise, obviously, this is on a whole new level. I mean, this is just an absolute torque monster, just beast. Not that wasn't fast. It's just or powerful. It's just a different kind of power. When you twist the throttle, it'll rip you off of it compared to that one takes off because it's lighter and it's powerful, but you just cannot compare this twin motor in that sand. That sand eats up every bit of power that you could ever dream of, and this just feels like endless power in the sand. Love it. I absolutely love this bike. So anyways, guys, that's it. If you guys have any questions, just shoot me some DM or comments below, and I'll see if I can get back to you. I've pretty much, since I've moved in, I've stopped doing GoPro videos. I had to get a new computer. I actually may have my daughter start editing my videos. She's got drones now. She's into it. So maybe I'll start having her edit my videos instead of me mess. I just don't have time to mess with it. It was such a big ordeal to even make this video. So hopefully some more videos to come. Some more riding videos. I know I haven't done that many riding videos with this one, and I know everybody's been looking for them. But I promise you this is, if you can buy this bike, this is so not disappointing. Out of the 50 some odd bikes that I've had, the best, my most favorite bike, and the least powerful. It's fast, it's powerful, but out of all my super bikes and street bikes, this is the least powerful bike I've ever owned, and one of the most awesome, though. Fun factor off the charts. I noticed the new ones are coming out. The new ones have, it looks like the cat up here now, which actually glad I got this generation. I like that being on the bottom better than up top. See if it's weird skid plate. I guess it doesn't really matter. It's all Euro 5 now, whatever. But I guess soon we'll all be riding electric, because the way everybody with this gas is going and the way everything's being pushed in that direction, which I hope not. I think electric's cool, but motorcycles I feel like have a long way to go before we get electric stuff. So, but anyways, guys, off the subject, if you can get this bike, get your hands on it. There's just not a badder bike out there. That new World Rally one that's coming out, I don't even know if we'll see that in the States here, but gosh, if you can get a hold of one of these, you will not be disappointed. This thing is awesome. So anyways, guys, hopefully more vids to come. See ya.